Hello, and welcome to another Season of War, Age of Sigmar Battle Report. Playing a game against Ryan here today. Ryan, you brought your Tzeentch, and I'm going to be playing my Idoneth Deepkin.
Yes, indeed.
The mission we're playing today is Shifting Objectives, and we are playing on the realm of Hysh. So for the mission, we have pretty much our back line for deployment. We have to stay a foot away from the sides. And all of the objectives are worth 1, except each turn or each round, there's 1 randomly chosen to be worth an extra point. New to this mission for this year, worth noting also if there's a battle line unit within 6 of the objective, when you control it, you store an additional point.
Yep.
So that's a nice little extra bonus potentially. Makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll just get into deployment and then talk about our armies afterwards.
All right,
good?
sounds good.
Awesome. Let's do it. So we finished deployment, and you finished first, obviously. Do you want to take me through your list?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm running the Host Arcanum, Disciples of Tzeentch army. For those that don't know, it's the Screamer-themed army, so it makes Screamer's battle line, which is great because it makes some cheap, fast-moving battle line. I have an ability as part of that allegiance that on the first, third, and fifth battle round, I get a free unbind that's automatically unbinding regardless of the roll. I also get to summon Not D6, just 6 Screamers coming out of the Magister at some point during the game, 1 use only. Other than that, I have the ability to buff up Screamers with the command ability, and in theory I get to move D3 units before the battle begins, but given the setup here, I probably won't be doing that. Other than that, I'm running Kairos Fate Reaver, and his buddy Magnus the Red, who is another Lord of Change. The general's my little green Magister over here. As for the army itself, 3 units of 3 Screamers, couple units of Blue Horrors, 6 Flamers, an Exalted Flamer, the Blue Scribes, and that covers it.
Yeah. A bit of a defensive deployment.
Yes.
Knowing that I can obviously get at you pretty quick if I so desire. And from the looks of it, you probably set up to give me first turn.
That is correct.
Yeah. To go through my list, I'm running Futhon today, so that allows me, instead of the retreat and charge turn on turn 4, I get its running charge again, and my general being the Tidecaster lets me reverse the Tide order, which would let me have running charge turn 1 and be attack first turn 2.
Okay.
And so many turns I have running charge, depending on what order I do that. I'll also get reroll 1s, and all my mounts reroll 1s to wound natively. Other than that, I have 3 units of 10 thralls as battle line, 2 units of 3 offensive eels off the board, and 1 unit of 6 on the board, and then 1 unit of 3 defensive eels on the board. For heroes, I have a Soul Strider, obviously for the deep striking, my Tidecaster General, Their trait is for +2 wounds, and their spell is a Steed of Tides, which allows me to teleport a hero within 24 inches. My Akhelian Queen, again, not my general this time, but she has the Cloud of Midnight item as per normal, which allows her to go untargetable at the beginning of any phase once per game. And then obviously, just because it's big and beautiful, I have my turtle here to help give some tankiness to my army that lacks it otherwise. So, I think other than that, you've rolled your fate dice, so got a few 6s, but only 1-1. So, not too bad of a spread, though. And it's going to be up to you for who's going first.
Oh, yeah, you're going first.
Okay, I figured. Let me get into all your casting ranges, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see no benefit to going first.
Yeah.
Because everything's at a range, and then you'll just wreck me if you double turn. So.
Yeah. It'd be nice for you to get it nice and close to me, but with this list, I definitely don't have the ability to dictate. So, we'll go into Idoneth Deepkin turn 1 at the top of round 1. We get started.
Alright, see what you got.
Alright, finished up Deepkin turn 1. Pretty quick for me. Just moved up onto all the objectives. The only combat or attacking that was done was my turtle taking 6 shots at your screamers in the front, killing one of them, which was a nice surprise.
He killed my screamer.
Failed all 3 of your saves.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so got 1 dead. First blood.
It's okay, he'll be back.
Other than that, really awesome that you did extra point for battle line on this. It meant I scored 2 extra points. Worth noting, this is also the one that was worth 2 to begin with. I tried to get on all 3, but didn't quite have the run I needed with my other unit of thralls, so could have positioned them a little better for that. But we'll store 1 point for that one, 2 for this one, and 3 for that one. So I'm going to have a 6-point round to start off with, which is a good start, I would say. I left my happy eels in the Ether Sea for now. See if you open up your doors to invite them in later. And we'll be going into your turn now.
All right.
So we'll be going into Tzeentch turn 1 at the bottom of round 1.
right, my turn's over. I did some moving around. Couple of Screamers teleported over here, which is great because they're battle lines, so they got their +2. Two plus one, but two points for the objective. My Flamers opened up on the front unit of Thralls and turned them into dust.
Your Flamers and your Exalted and the...
Yeah, we just loaded up.
Yeah.
Summon Screamers showed up and ate the other unit of Thralls over there. Mm-hmm. Good job, boys. They rolled way above Screamer average, which I just totally am pleased with.
Worth noting, though, that with the new FAQ, they're not battle line because they were summoned. So
that's true. So I don't get the plus for that
there.
one, but I got the plus for this one as well because now I have 3 in range. He only had 2.
Yeah.
And these are the battle line ones. So overall, pretty good turn. I didn't get to cast any offensive spells because he hit outside of 18 inches. But every single spell cast I attempted went off, so I got my full 6.
6 fate points.
You're
at 6 now.
I forgot to count one then, because you casted 1, and I casted 6, so it should be at 7.
Yes. Yep.
So I miscounted, but I have 7 fate points right now, which isn't enough to summon anything, but maybe by the end of next turn, I will have over 10, or I'll just hold on to it and do other things.
You'll have options.
Yeah, overall, things are going reasonably well for the Tzeentchian forces, but I am a little scared of eel charges coming soon at a Tzeentch army near you, so...
But if you get the double, you'll get another turn now with all your magic in range.
Oh yeah, the double would be swell right now. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crisis mode if I don't get the double though.
No, you're well positioned.
Yeah.
So there's you're not super threatened by eels or anything right now. I mean, you are. You're always threatened by eels.
I mean, you'll blow through all the chaff, but then I'll get a turn to blow into you.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's go into priority for round 2. 3 for me.
4 for me.
You. So you will, take the turn.
I might as well take it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll be going into round 2, top of the round, and Tzeentch going first.
All right. My turn's done. Things went splendidly for the Tzeentchian forces. Turn started out kind of iffy when the blue horrors whiffed their spell, but every other spell went off, so it didn't really matter. So I gained my 5 fate points, did a whole ton of damage.
Yeah.
I spawned a spawn on the thrall unit, which also got blown up. In the shooting phase, I blew up a few eels with my flamers.
Well, you blew up the rest of the thralls in the shooting.
That's true, yeah. Sorry, Big Bird finished the thralls, and then the flamers lit up the eels, killed 2.5 eels, so I'll take that. The Screamers charged in against his general, which I don't know what it's called, but Tidecaster. And they rolled quite well, and they feeding frenzied him into the ground. Mm-hmm. So that puts me in a decent spot. A bunch of mortal wounds went in the turtle. It's almost dead. And then I also took all 3 objectives, 2 of them with battle line, the middle objective being the important one this round. So I'm now at
So you'll
10?
score, no, more than that.
12.
So 3 for that one,
Yep.
2 for that one, 1 for that one, so another 6.
Yeah, so it's 12 to 6 going into the second Idoneth turn.
Yep, bottom of round 2. And yeah, we'll get into it. All right, so Idoneth, Deepkin, turn 2, just finished it up. Trying to come back from the punishing double, which I didn't obviously get as much done as I hoped to. Brought in my eels, obviously, to try and charge, but I needed to give the +3 to get into the Lord of Change, which I did. Got charges, got good coverage, got my stuff in. Turtle moved over here and shot and then charged into the blue scribes and took them off. Big thing here was that combat with your Lord of Change. I had 3 spears going through at 2 rank 2 damage, and you used 3 6s in your Destiny dice to make those 3 saves, which meant after everything, he survived on 2 wounds. So you managed to take a few wounds off of the Queen. Actually, she's down to 2 remaining, so definitely tenuous. You have also 2 remaining there. But if you take the turn, obviously you're getting your full casting out of that, which is really the scary part.
Well, I'd mention his spell's much, much weaker now. So it's
Fair.
not full, but yeah.
For sure. But even any spell casting obviously is also destiny points. So, and having to put the +3 over there, I didn't make these charges. Actually, I had made one charge, and you used your once per game Kairos ability to change one of the dice. I then re-rolled that and didn't make the 9. So none of those guys got in. Obviously a little disappointed with that combat. And you keep control of both those points, and I only take that one for a single point. So you definitely right now are in a controlling lead on victory points. Going into the roll-off, so
do you roll which one's the more valuable first?
Yes, yeah. So let's do that. 1 over here, and this is a 3, so that one is the most valuable.
Cool.
And then we'll go into the priority roll.
I cannot win.
You can, because you went first in the round.
Oh, that's right. Big 6. That's not a big 6.
2. So I'm going to take the turn. Obviously here I need it. Try and get back into you and do as much as I can. This is the turn that I'm attacking first in combat, which is a big blessing. So we'll do as much as we can and try and kill us some demons this turn. So we'll be going into the top of round 3 with Deepkin going first. Okay, so finishing up top of round 3, Deepkin's double turn. Obviously, needed to get into everything and kill everything, or as much as I could. And I got most of what I needed. Obviously, moved both my units of eels up. They made their charges, as well as the defensive eels from over there, and the turtle. Big thing I was trying to do was take out Kairos. With my charge here, they did 2 mortals to your other Lord of Change. We took him out before combat, and I was attacking first this entire round. You used 2 Destiny dice to make 2 more saves with Kairos, which were like 2 damage each. And then I think you rolled a couple saves there too, so you got what you needed. He could have died relatively, not easily, but like on average dice. But with your fate point or fate dice changes, obviously used very effectively there. But you're depleted too. You only have 2 left, and Kairos is on 5 wounds. Other than that, I killed 4 of these guys. You have 2 left. I killed all your flamers. I killed your unit of 3 in there. So I took this objective this turn. I held this one, but that's the one that was worth 2 points.
Yep.
So I only got 1 for each of these. But obviously, like we were just talking about, killed a lot of your stuff. You're pretty limited on your damage output now, but you will potentially have the double turn, and you have a severe points advantage at this point. So we'll be going into bottom of round 3 and Tzeentch turn. So it's time for some trickery.
All right.
Let's see what you can do.
My turn's up. Not a lot happened. Kairos moved back, called in his little buddies to put a shield around him to maybe survive if I don't get the double turn. I don't think it's high odds, but we will at least force Jordan to put some serious resources into it. Turtle saved everything that went into him.
Tank just saves. We brought him down to 1 with, you brought him down to 2 with mortals and casting. And then the blue horrors got 1 through.
And then we could not finish him with the Exalted Flamer or smacking him. The Magister, he's just not going to die.
So these guys killed the
spawn.
The spawn, and then the turtle brought the Magister down to 1. So almost took him out, which would have been nice to be freed. But if I do get the double, I can even potentially shoot him before and then still be free to charge.
That's true. Which would be bad.
Yeah, so obviously big, I feel like whenever you have a game that's going to turn 4 or 5, it obviously gets intense in terms of priority roll.
Yep. Well, let's figure out which one's most valuable.
Yes, we'll do that first.
If you could roll either of these, that would be fantastic.
1 over there.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So
I know where these eels are going.
Is the most valuable one. Worth noting, actually, too, in your hero phase, my Akhelian Queen used her item, so she was untargetable. She only had 1 wound left that you could have easily chipped off. So that kept her around. So if I get the turn, she can, be on the go, but you can probably finish her if not. So all win ties here.
You got a 1.
Nope.
3.
It's to you, sir.
I think I have to take it.
Okay, sounds good. So top of round 4, we'll be going into Tzeentch turn 4.
Okay. All right, end of my turn. It was not a super exciting turn, but it was very critical.
Yeah.
I zapped Turtle Boy. I zapped Queen Girl. And then I consolidated a bit. I had just enough space to put 10 horrors on this objective to his 9 to take it back, which is great. I flew my 1 unit of Summon Screamers over here just to solidify that objective. Then over here I really consolidated and created the chaff bubble wrap of chaff around chaff.
So that unit in the center is from your original list, so
Yep.
they are battle lines, so you're storing the extra point there.
Yes, so they're very important. And then Kairos has kind of moved back. Shooting, we did some damage to some eels, but I mean, it's not really relevant. But I scored the full 5 points, putting me at a resounding lead.
Yeah, for sure. So you're up currently 21-9. So obviously pretty grim for me, but I'm going to go into attack mode and do as much as I can.
Which is really all he's been doing. But
Yeah, well, that's all I do. But we will go into bottom of round 4, Deepkin turn, and see what we can do. Okay, so finishing Deepkin turn 4 at the bottom of round 4. Obviously just trying to spread out and do a little bit of everything. I managed to clear the blue horrors to take that objective. Killed 2 of the streamers to take that objective. And I didn't manage to kill Kairos. I brought him down to 2 wounds. You actually used one of your last fate dice to make a save to live, which is, again, significant. You were just saying you used, what was it?
8 of my 9 fates.
8 of your 9 fate dice to make armor saves, which obviously against, a lot
Actually, one of those 8 was used to fail an armor save on a flamer to try and kill something.
Oh, that's true. You wanted to do the mortals back.
But I failed to do the mortals, but it would have been glorious if it worked out.
Over here, I knew I could have put more stuff in here and tried to take that objective, but it really was inconsequential with kind of where the game was ending up, where the game ended up coming into this turn. But I threw 3 dice over here. They ended up killing.
Yeah, all these blues are dead.
Yeah, they dealt 12 wounds. So these 8 or 9 dice left, whatever it is, would be brimstone horrors. But we're going to call the game here, just because at the end of the round, you're well ahead in points. I think you're up by 10 right now. Yeah, 21-11, and even though I have a lot of power left on the board, like we were talking about, the score, you're too far ahead. Very entertaining game, though.
Yeah, I thought this would be the opposite. I thought you would push ahead, get ahead in points, and I would have to mortal wound you away and then come back. But it turned out the opposite. I took the points early, and you obliterated me.
I think with the mission changes, it just gives even more reasons to double down on making Eels battle line and doing more the other sub factions, so that I have Eels battle line, different abilities. I again didn't even use the reverse tides, but I think I could have potentially used it, or even just brought those Eels in turn 1 to try and pin you back.
Maybe
May have been an interesting play, but I honestly don't think so, actually, because you didn't have anything in range with your magic, so you just would have gotten free cast on them.
I think Eel's battle line would have changed this.
Yeah, because
that's the big thing.
Then I'm scoring more points.
Yep.
And instead of the 3 units of thralls, I have 3 more units of eels.
Or you even keep the thralls. It doesn't matter. It's just to have more battle line.
The thralls are great, but in some matchups like this one, where really I was only getting into the 3 wound stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think the thralls ever got to attack any of the units.
Nope.
Yeah, they were all dead before they were.
But they took punches for everything else.
For sure.
That said, they're not good at taking punches.
Exactly. So if I could do that with defensive eels or a shark, it helps. I also then have 2 more wounds on my queen.
But they do give you numbers for when you want to fight.
Yes. And I do think they are great. They are a great unit, but they're just overshadowed in this book, obviously.
Well, and this particular Tzeentch army deals with them really easily. Like there's other armies that are like, if they have to charge into that on an auto strike first turn, they'll get just absolutely eviscerated. But in this matchup, I'm just like, whatever, you can just do your thing.
Really good game though. The double turn early hurt me because the 1 into 2 that hurt me, but I actually was able to come back at least on the table more than I thought I would. But that's just obviously the demons are so squishy, especially with Ren 2. They have no saves and
your double turn really hurt.
Yeah, and I think actually if I had one priority after that, that would have been I think the turning point of me having a play on it, because you would have not scored so much on your last turn, and you still might have been in range. Could have been out, but...
Well, I think if you'd won that other priority, Kairos would have been dead.
Kairos would have been dead, yeah, for sure. And I still potentially have... Well, I at least have that turn with my king or my Akhelian queen and the turtle. So they are potentially doing something.
Yeah, I think you would have come close to tabling me that turn had you got it.
Yeah.
And then the question would have been, can you get enough points before the game's on?
And I don't think I could have, just because of the battle line.
Yeah.
So that's super significant, I feel like, in this mission. That's going to impact so many games, because I feel like there are a lot of armies that don't have significant battle line.
Yeah.
So thinking about, Deepkin, if you run all Eel's battle line, you have so many units where you're always fighting on the objectives and racking up those points. But you have less bodies, but you're killing so much stuff.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I have 6 more Screamers on Spruce, so once that's there, I'll have even more.
Yeah, that's great. And I really liked this build from you with Tzeentch.
The Host Arcanum's a little different than everybody's loving. Everybody loves Duplicitous and Eternal Conflagration just for the raw power that they have. But this one's kind of feels more fun.
Yeah. And I think in this matchup is probably one of the tougher ones for the heavy flamer list. Deepkin in general.
Yeah, because I can't split attacks.
Can't split attacks, as well as having defensive eels that ignore Rand.
Yeah.
So
Eternal Conflags
cover for an extra save, so they're on.
It's a one-hit wonder list. Either it works well and you obliterate your opponent, or it doesn't, you lose.
And then obviously if it doesn't, especially with these guys, they're gonna come back and punch you so hard.
Yeah. So at least this one gets a chance to adapt and just zip around and take objectives.
Yeah, and obviously the -1 hit from your heroes.
Yep.
Had a huge impact going from 3s to 4s, especially because I'm usually rerolling 1s, so that's a huge change in consistency. But no, great game. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, thanks a lot for coming down for the game. It was a lot of fun. Ryan actually was the one who brought me back into the hobby a few years ago, so it's good to get some games in and
good stuff.
Face your demons. Anyways,
yeah.
Thanks, as always, to everyone who's watched and kind of supported our videos. Obviously, continuing to get more out and play lots of games and have fun. So, hope you've been enjoying it, and we'll see you next time.